a few more examples of stimulus and response. All right. So plant growth in response to a stimulus is called a tropism. So let's take a look at some examples of this word. Plant tropisms are controlled by plant hormones. Hormones are basically chemicals within the plant that cause it to do something. Right? So let's take a look at this picture over here. What is happening in this picture? These plants, they were growing upwards, right? You see how they're growing kind of over here, slightly to the left even, right? They're growing up and slightly to the left. But what happened? All of a sudden, they all suddenly changed and started growing to the right. Notice suddenly they curve and change to the right. So what happened? Why are these plants growing over here to the right? The reason they're doing that is the plants are bending towards the sunlight because they want to obtain more energy for photosynthesis. So here's what happened. The people who grew these plants, they first probably grew the plant so that the sunlight was coming from the left. And then suddenly they changed the orientation of this clay pot so that the sunlight is coming from the right. So the plant had to suddenly change direction so it could move towards the sunlight. Let's take a look at this picture over here. What is this picture showing? Well, this picture is showing that the sunlight is coming in through this window, right? The rest of the house is probably pretty dark. There's probably not any, not a whole lot of light coming through the from the rest of the house. So this plant, it starts growing towards the light. So this is called phototropism. Photo means light, and tropism means a response. The plant is growing towards the light. So this plant over here, instead of just growing straight up, it grows towards the light. This is called phototropism. The plant can sense where the light is. In addition, there's something called gravitropism, right? Do you recognize the word gravity, right? A plant can sense gravity. It knows which direction is up and which direction is down. So take a look at this pot over here. How do you think this person made this plant do this? So in the beginning, notice this plant is kind of, going over here to the side. In the beginning, right? This plant, this pot over here was probably right side up. It was probably just facing straight up. So the plant was growing up. But all of a sudden, someone tipped this pot over, right? And so now the plant is on its side. So the plant can sense that, hey, I'm no longer growing up. So it changes direction and starts to grow up.